Members of the DEA decided to raid Oaksterdam, which is a university in Oakland. And it's a university for those who want to be entrepreneurs in the marijuana business. If they want to open a dispensary, it teaches them how to grow the marijuana, how to run a business. Now, it's really interesting that they got raided because the Obama administration, when he was campaigning, mentioned that he would not raid any dispensaries. He said that he would respect state laws and he wouldn't get involved in this ridiculous war on drugs. He didn't say he would legalize marijuana, but he said he wouldn't raid these places.
Okay, now, Oaksterdam University is the way that we refer to it, but of course it's a trade school, but you know, it is a real trade and they do teach folks how to do this, and that's why, of course, the DEA doesn't like it, because they don't want you selling drugs. They don't give a damn what your state law is.
This is a bad week for colleges in Oakland that no one has ever heard of.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
right.
but what's amazing is you made a good point right now by bringing that up, because there's a shooting, right? And that's what officials should be focusing on, not raiding a marijuana university.
Right. A small Christian college in Oakland was shot up by somebody who used to go there, at least 7 dead. Instead, the DEA, the U.S. Marshal Service, and the IRS all raid Oaksterdam together. Like, meanwhile, as Anna pointed out, there's a shooting going on across town. Like, I mean, the cops showed up at the shooting, don't get me wrong, right? But this is an enormous waste of our time and our efforts, et cetera, and a total violation of President Obama's campaign pledge to, you know, not interfere with the state business. And it's gratuitous. It's gratuitous in the sense that it's a gratuitous violation of President Obama's pledges because he reappointed a Bush official at the DEA who is ballistic on this stuff and went on the warpath, and President Obama was like, oh, golly gee, what could I do? Okay, and now Attorney General Eric Holder is talking about how dangerous drugs are and how we need to bust these things up.
The Obama administration raided more than 100 dispensaries in its first 3 years and is now poised to outpace the Bush administration's crackdown record.
Ben, what's wrong with this guy? I mean, why does he have to do something that is over-the-top conservative on nearly every issue? Like, who was clamoring for a drug? Like, who was saying Obama's too weak because he didn't do a drug crackdown? Nobody was saying that.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure that's true because Los Angeles city officials are not even remotely happy with the number of dispensaries. I presume the mayor of Oakland isn't into it either. So there were way more than that law intended. Like, they didn't, I mean, it was a poorly written law and there were way more dispensaries. I don't know anything about Oaksterdam University, except there's no way they've ever won a sporting event ever.
Unless it's couch surfing.
Yeah, so, dude, what's the score? Oh, we're getting killed, that's awesome. But like, I don't know, I mean, you know, my limited understanding of the law is that you can have these dispensaries and then for medical reasons, which again is a joke, you know, I got 7 friends who have anxiety and they go get their weed. But like, this doesn't seem to me to be that, which might make it, you know, I don't know. Can you have a college that just goes around teaching people how to grow weed? I don't know.
No, yeah, they look, their pretense is definitely for medical purposes. It's so that they can grow it, so they can give it to people who need medical marijuana. And the reality is, of course, some people in reality do need medical marijuana, and keep it real, it's a tiny percentage. A lot of people get the weed, as Ben is saying, for medical reasons, right? But I love it because I think I want to go towards legalization. People of California, and actually, by the way, across the nation now, are in favor of medical marijuana, and are now getting to the point where they're in favor of legalizing, period. Forget medical or otherwise. And in the same time, Obama's headed in the wrong direction.
Did they give a reason for the raid?
Right now, they have not given a reason for the raid. There were IRS officials there as well, so I don't know if there are tax issues there. We don't know, and I, did some research on the story to see if there are any updates to it, and at this point, there are no updates.
But I would hate it if they were, if you're using the IRS because you can find something if you dispose a lot of IRS agents at a university. I mean, that would be terrible.
No, that's unquestionably what's going on. They're Al Caponeing them. That's how they got Al Capone, is on IRS. But they're trying to do it out in the open. That's what bothers me so much. Like, you go after illicit drug gangs in Oakland, God bless, okay? But here, these guys are trying to do it with a cooperation. In fact, Oakland passed an ordinance where they would have gotten over $7 million in taxes from these guys.
Yeah,
and they were happy to pay those taxes.
As I was saying, I know LA has objected to it, but I think Oakland was more embraced it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, Councilwoman Rebecca Kaplan said, "We have not had crime or violence associated with our dispensaries, and that's because they've been tightly regulated. If you regulate them, then it's safe for everybody, right? And instead, they go in here like guns blazing, not literally, because thank God they didn't shoot anybody in this case.
Yeah, they probably just walked it.
Right? Yeah. And they're like, dude, someone's here." No, but seriously, there were protesters outside, and they were saying, you know,
Some of the protesters
medicine is not a crime, DEA, go away, which, by the way, is not the best chant, but nonetheless.
they were smoking doobies in front of the officials, which I think is pretty badass.